All right, welcome everyone to Salon number 17. We're gonna go ahead and get started. We'll probably have folks coming and joining us as we're going along, but we'll get things moving. We are going to have a batch of artworks today from English art museums. So a little while ago, was it? I guess it's been a couple months now. Maybe it's been a couple months since I did the last salon where I did a recap of my England trip and I shared my top 5 art museums and then had a bunch of artworks from all those experiences. It's on YouTube right now. In case you missed that salon, I'm going to put the link right now in the chat. So if you're curious about that salon, yeah, it's pretty comprehensive in terms of like a recap of my trip. Top 5 art museums and a lot of artwork. So here's that link here in the chat. Oh, and I see Ifat there. Hi, Ifat.
Hey, hi, Luke.
And you've got a friend.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, what is your name, sir?
Leonid.
Oh,
Nice
would you
to
say that? Oh, say that one. The audio is not great, so I can't hear very well. What's the name again?
Leonid.
Leonid? How do you spell that?
Leonid.
Okay, Leonid. Leonid, does that sound right? All right,
Yes.
awesome. Well, welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so let's see. And oh, I see another small crowd of people there just coming in. It's too many people on one screen. I'm not going to be able to do that. Is that the German contingent that's just chimed in? Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see. I see Daphne and Philip and Yvonne. Is that right? Okay. Well, great. Glad to have you guys here. Okay. You only get to get to nominate one person to speak, though. You can't all speak. Only one person gets to speak. Good. Crowds get me invigorated. I was telling everybody that I'm kind of like I haven't done art in like I don't know a while, so I don't know how this is going to go. I've been reading a bunch of plays, and actually been doing a lot of thinking about play appreciation by thinking about how I appreciate art, and then transferring like touching the art stuff over to drama, and that's been really helpful. And maybe during the later this summer you might see something like, hey, come join me for a play reading that we're going to adopt new principles and techniques for play appreciation. So that will be in the future. But let's talk about the present. So I just put in the chat, I'm going to put it again in here in case you just joined up. This is a link to the last salon featuring 5 favorite museums from my England trip. And what I'm going to do today is just have 5 artworks, so more or less of a typical salon. And as a reminder, there's no admission charge for this, but donations are appreciated. So if you like using the QR code stuff, feel free to do that. Let me put in a PayPal link as well, just in case you'd like to have that. So please don't feel like it's an obligation. Feel like you can jump in anytime, but in case you want to support my adventures, there's those QR codes in that link. Let's see who else has joined us here. Hi, John. Hi, Silka. Did I pronounce that correctly? Okay, good. You speak German as well, right? And
Yes.
excellent. Okay, good. Yeah, we got a lot of Germans today. Fantastisch. Ich kann jetzt mein Deutsch benutzen. All right.
Ja, das klingt richtig gut.
Okay, good. So, just a couple updates I want to give you. First of all, I've got some tours coming up. I'm going to be in Los Angeles next week. If you go just to Touching the Art, you'll see I'm giving tours at the Getty Center on a couple of days there. And then Atlanta, the High Museum of Art, I think it's going to be in the 23rd. So several tours across the US there, touchingtheart.com/tours. You can find those. I've got some course updates for you. So I've been really racking my brain to figure out what kind of courses I want to do. And then suddenly this morning I was like putting together, I said, this is what I'm going to do. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a series of favorite artists from England. Um, Many of you know about the course I've given in the past called Bonding with Great Artists, where our goal is to read artworks ourselves first, personally connect to them, and then ask a fundamental question, which is, hey, Michelangelo, how did you connect to the David? Or how would you connect to the David? So to get to know the artist through their own artwork, through how they might personally connect or did personally connect through the art. And so I want to do that with a series of familiar and not so familiar British artists. And I've got a list here. You might recognize Waterhouse, who's a favorite, and you'll see one of his artworks a day. Frederick Clayton, the cover Stories in Paint. Of course, the painter's honeymoon. Herbert James Draper. If you love anything mythological, John Everett Millay. He's the featured artwork and touching the art. And Eleanor, I think it's Eleanor Fiskew Brickdale. I think that's the name. Yeah, oof. I better get these artist names right if I'm going to give a course on them. And she's my new favorite artist almost. Those of you who were at the salon last time, we had one artwork that that kind of Leonardo looking fellow, that one. That was a really, really great artwork. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these as individual sessions, so that if you want to sign up for one, it's like, it's the summer, Luke, or not, we're like going off and having adventures, so we can't like sign up for a full course. So I'm just going to have individual sessions, but then if you want to do the whole thing too, I'm also going to, I don't know when I'm going to schedule them. So I'm going to ask for those of you that are really excited about this, I'll coordinate the schedule with you, and then everybody else is like kind of on the fence, then we'll figure it out. I'm going to do second course. I'm going to do a reprisal of romantic relationships in art. So a couple of you that are here took this with me last summer, and then just love this course. And I'm excited to give it again and give it some more tweaks, and it's just so much fun. And it's like the basic topic of art, and it's amazing how much variety there can be in what is said about romantic relationships in art. So I'm going to give that course, and if you're interested in either of these, send me an email, send me a message, let me know. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather those emails up and send an email and say, hey, how about these times? What would work for your schedule? And then you'll be the base for determining how I schedule this, so to make sure you get it. So those are the two courses in July. I'm contemplating other stuff. For those of you that have taken TTA 201, and I'm going to give another session of TTA 201 in the fall, but for those of you that have taken TTA 201, I've got like a 3-part epic TTA 301 course I want to give, but it's going to be too much. I got to bite off more than I can chew. So that's a little bit in terms of courses. So let's get to it. I've got 5 paintings from English art museums, but they're not necessarily English artists. So as you know, I'll briefly show it and give me a title in the chat. Quick title. Remember, it's just the first words that come to mind when you see the artwork. If you say something brilliant, no. I'm gonna say, quiet. You cannot say anything brilliant. No alliteration, no metaphors, no great insights in your titles. No, just plain titles. That's all I want. Yeah, of course you can test the waters. All right, so just a quick title, and then we're gonna pick one out to read together, immerse ourselves in, and then if we have a little time, we might do a second one. All right, are you ready? So here we go. Here's artwork number 1. What's your initial title for this one? That's it. Just your first impression. No deep dives. Just something shallow. Great, Eva, you win the reward for shallowness. Working. Actually, you know what? It's so amazing that a word is like just as simple as that is not shallow at all. Donna, family business. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wait, let me give you some time. I don't want to read these yet. Let me give everybody some time. Just the first words that come to mind. Okay. And keep typing if you're still typing. All right. So Eva, you had working. Tom, you had metal worker. Donna, family business. John, the forge. Ifat, hard at work. Leonid, pumping iron. He does look like he's showing off those muscles. Yeah, I've got these muscles. That's sorry, Bert. That's the best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression you can get from me. Um, and Bert, you have family in the workplace, and I don't know the trio of Germans are going with hell. Is that wow, wow. Okay, fantastic. All right, here's your next one. What's your title for this one? Title for this one. Okay. Keep typing if you're still typing. And let's see what we have so far. Tom, you have Rose Garden. I'm just breathing that in. I love the smell of roses. Bert, Loving Beauty. Joseph, Flower Girls. Eva, worried amongst the roses. Ooh. Donna, Skeptical. John, Surrounded by Roses. Leonid, Conspiracy Garden. You thought Smelling the Roses. Two different directions there. Windy, Ladies in the Garden, and I'm gonna just get Yvonne. You've got it. Who's the one typing? Is there or how are you determining what's going on? That's all right. I see some fingers pointed. Okay, so whoever gets the blame. Uh, I'm probably just gonna say Yvonne because that's what the name I see the Y there. Women in the Garden. Great. All right, third one. What's your title for this one? Um, Luke, you're too quick with these. So keep it up for a little while. All right. Okay. Keep typing if you're still typing. That's what we have so far. Donna, you have grief. Eva, innocence. Tom, mourning and innocence. John, innocent child. Ifat, mourning, Leonid, light and darkness. And Yvonne, dark and light, hope and despair. Bert, sorrow with babe. And Joseph, the dark and the light. Okay. All right. How many more do I have? Two more. Next one. Here it is. I think this one is snuck in at some point, maybe somewhere. Yeah, this one might be it's like insisting on coming back to a salon. Because it's maybe it really wants to be picked. It really wants to be picked. Okay. Tom, you have unimpressed. Yvonne, you have hey baby. Um, hey baby. Okay, all right, I can't do it. Let's see, John, you have don't leave yet. Bert, let me explain my words. Okay. Uh, Eva, not impressed. It's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting what character you're drawn to and you're focused on. Um, Donna, flirtatious buffoon. Leonid, wrong impression. Ifat, can I help you with something? Okay, I'm deliberately affecting the voice. If that's the incorrect way that's supposed to be said, let me know. And when do you have, but wait till I tell you. Okay, great. One more. And what's your title for this one? Hmm. Okay, keep typing if you're typing. Let's see what we have. John, you have sad day. Donna, old age. Yvonne, confession. Joseph, dark thoughts illuminated. Hmm. Joseph, have you seen this one before? Curious. Bert, a sad personal matter.
I don't believe I have.
Mm-hmm. Leonid, memories. Ifat, reflections. Tom, quiet reflection. Eva, friendship. And Wendy, repose by the window. Okay. So those are the 5 candidate artworks. I'm going to go back through them again. And then we'll take a vote. Whether your vote means anything, who knows? Let's see. So we have this one, the Iron Forge. I'll be back. Pumping iron. Family business. Number 2, the conspiracy garden of lovely flowers. Number 3, dark and light and innocence and morning. Number 4, can I help you with something? How you doing? And number 5, reflection, sadness, friendship. So here we are. Take a moment. I'm going to put some numbers here. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to vote for the one that you would like to spend your time with. Imagine if you did have free will and you did have the ability to choose, which one would it be?
Do we get 3 hypothetical votes?
Yeah, that's good. And of course, Ifat and Leonid, you get 2 votes. But Ifat, you can't take Leonid's vote. He's got to vote for himself. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So let's see. 1 vote for 5, 2 votes for 5. 3 votes for 2, 3 votes for 5, 4 votes for 2, 5 for 2. Whoa, and 3 votes for 3. Okay. So it looks like 2, 5, and 3 are the top ones, but 2 seems to be the definite. Yeah, let's go with number 2. And then maybe we'll start with something kind of heavier, and we'll end up with something a little bit lighter. How does that sound? All right. So I'm going to give y'all, 3 minutes, and maybe 3 minutes and 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Maybe. With the painting, feel free to write something out, write out your own reading of the artwork. Feel free to just look and take it in. Will zoom in on it at different points. And then afterwards, I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I'll ask some probing questions, and we'll try to have a full experience with the artwork and figure out what's going on and personally connect to it. All right. So let me clear the decks here. And go back to this here. All right. 3 minutes on the clock. Now, it's all yours. All right, start to wrap it up. If you're writing something out, find a stopping point. And if you wrote something out and would like to share it vocally, I'd love to hear those first. I bet those of you that are with others, I think you took advantage of the fact and kind of discussed the artwork, and so that's great. That's great. All right. Let's see, Tom, would you like to start us off and read what you have?
Sure. A woman dressed in black sits crumpled at the foot of what may be a tomb inside a church. Head bent, oops, sorry, lost it there. head bent, eyes closed, and hands clasped in prayer. Her posture and dress indicate sadness, probably mourning. To the side, a young girl sits in the bright sunlight, happily eating an apple, apparently without a care in the world. Is the woman in mourning for her husband, possibly entombed there? Is the girl their daughter? If the woman brought the girl with her, the girl seems oblivious to the situation. That's all I got.
All right. That's great. I love that word crumpled that you used to describe her posture there. And then you're describing this as a kind of tomb inside of a church. Yeah, the location and exactly where she is, that's really important. It doesn't look like there are any statues or saints, like you might have a little chapel or something. Yeah. And then trying to piece together what the dynamic is between the two. The oblivious girl, is that the daughter? All right, great. Thank you, Tom. Bert, would you like to read yours out loud?
Sure. Sorrow for the mother that just lost her husband, leaving baby behind. Baby is playing, enjoying life, unaware of the loss. We see a dramatic visual differentiation in illumination between death and life. That's all I have.
That's great. I like that phrase, the dramatic differentiation between death and life and the unaware enjoyment the child is going through. Okay. Thanks for those words, Bert. Donna, would you like to share what you put down?
Sure. Similar to what everybody's written. Young widow's grief, praying for her husband's soul. Her beautiful baby, bathed in sunlight, is oblivious in her youth. A corner of the church, a few moments to release her sorrow out of the public's eye.
Okay. So when you describe the corner of the church, you're making me think that this is a kind of public place, would naturally be a public place that other people go by. And when you're also, that phrase, release her sorrow. Yeah, she's finding a little bit of time, and it's making me focus on the fact that she's in shadow too, that she's finding that spot right now in shadow for her to be out of the public eye too, to go along, to release the kind of like that word crumpled that just goes together. She's crumpling and releasing the sorrow. That makes me think that this is recent. You described her as a young widow. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Donna. Eva, would you like to share what you got?
Yeah, it's not much. I'm just looking at her eyes, like the woman's eyes. And I'm just thinking, like, if my husband died very recently, I don't know if I would look like that. And also if he wasn't dead, but he was, I don't know, about to die, it wouldn't look like that. So it kind of looks like she has accepted what has happened. So it's just about, I don't know, timing. And then also, it kind of looks like she's protecting the girl from whatever is kind of bad or agreed, because she's her, yeah.
So yeah, what do you see that makes you say she's protecting the girl?
Well, she's turned away from her, like her back is turned against her completely. There's no like interaction, but she's still close to her. And the what do you call it? Like the handrail. What do you call it? Not the handrail, but
yeah, the rail.
The rail for the stairs. I don't know. Just the fact that it's between them, but they're still very close to each other. I don't know. So I don't know. It's just a feeling that I get that she loves that kid and she wants to protect the kid from whatever is hurting her.
Yeah. And you thought you're following up with that. Maybe she doesn't want her baby to see her cry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eva. Okay. So let me sum up what we have so far and let me see what questions we need. So it sounds like we're agreeing, young mother. At some point, she's lost her husband. She's here, perhaps mourning her husband's loss inside of a church, but she puts her child aside and turns away from the child, not to let her see her emotion and the sadness that it's causing in her, letting the child kind of eat the apple and be playful while she mourns in private away from her child. All right. What more? What more? That did that sound as like a good summary? Is there anything more that you're seeing or any questions you have that you want to keep reading to find answers to? So Donna, you're wondering, yeah, what exactly is this place? Is this a kind of tomb here? And that's where I wish I don't, it's looking up here, can't quite see, but it feels like a tomb. But if it's a tomb, I mean, who gets to be in a tomb in a church? Like Michelangelo does. Uh, you know, kings
It
do.
seems like with the columns and just the structures, it doesn't seem to be a home, that it would be a public place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So yeah, is it maybe it says she is praying for or thinking about. Oh, and Eva, you're wondering about the yeah, I think this is a shawl, right? Or that's not her hair, right? Yeah, I think that's part of her mourning garb. But is she is praying, right? She has her eyes closed, but she's in a kind of very mournful, passionate prayer. Her hands close. Yeah, it's not like this, looking up. It's right. And so I'm wondering if she's at the church and maybe not in front of the tomb. And the question for me is how much time has passed? Is this recent? Wait, look at the flood all around her. She's crumpled into a puddle. Okay. Wendy, do you want to read out loud what you've got?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, a mother has set her child in a quiet, safe, sunny spot on a stair near an ornate railing. The child is looking contentedly at something in her hands as one hand goes to her mouth. Is it a piece of fruit? And then her black garments are pooled around her. That's what I noticed. Is it kind of, that's what it makes me think of.
Mhm.
In the same way that the child is in like this, this bathed in this light, then she's pooled in darkness.
Yeah. Okay. So I love that visual contrast, that's the dark pool and the warm water bathed in light. I also really like that you were rewinding the scene and imagining the mother coming to this place, deliberately putting the child right here on those steps, maybe saying, hold on a moment. And being nearby enough, I bet if she rises up out of her crouch position, she can look over that handrail and see her child easily. But put her there, set her there, and then went to this place right here. So I don't know what this place is. That's my big question. And how long has passed? And it feels like it's recent, but I'm not sure. Any other thoughts or questions here about what's going on or observations?
Luke, could you zoom in on the top right corner where the light is above the girl? I can't make out what that may be, because that may be a clue.
Yeah. It looks like some kind of decoration right here.
Yeah, like it could be.
Donna, you're thinking gargoyle-ish. Yeah. And it looks like it's lit up and it seems kind of gold. But this looks like it's temple-like or church-like that she's in with those marble columns, and it almost looks like it could be a tomb. All right. Now, literary connections. Can you think of any mothers who, or parents who try to hide something difficult from their kids to protect them? John, you're thinking Cosette. What are you thinking of with Cosette, John? Cosette from Les Miserables.
Just that her mom tried to protect her from the realities of her situation when she dropped her off.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go over here and live with the Thenardiers. I'm going to be working hours on end trying to scrounge up money. You're going to have playmates and you're going to be taken care of. Yeah, that's a good one. Any more come to mind for anybody? Any movie or literary connections of parents trying to protect their kids? You can expand it out a little bit. And this is where we can maybe start thinking about personal connections as well, because we're kind of describing the situation. I don't have any kids. I've got a cat. I've got students. And yeah, sometimes I'm been put in moments where, okay, there's stuff that, you know what? This is something I don't want the kids to experience. I'm going to experience it. Might be difficult, but I don't want the child to experience it. And so I might in some way protect them from that. Bert, you have J.K. Rowling, Potter's parents protecting Harry from Voldemort. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's deliberate physical danger that he's in. That's true. That's true. Okay. So the question, I guess, would be, when is there been any moment in your life when you have found yourself dealing with something more mature that is challenging, that you want to kind of hide from somebody who is not yet mature enough to understand it and process it, and it could hurt them? I'll give you a moment to think about that, and I'm going to pull up a comparison artwork. Donna, I see you put down grandparents' death. And Yvonne, I'm getting the question, how about the reverse? When have you been, you can put yourself in the child's place. When were you a kid and you remember your parents kind of hiding something to protect you from seeing it or understanding it, or you're not ready to process it? Okay. Let's see, what more do we have? Eva, you have lots of shows. They tell kids their dog was sent to the farm instead of telling them it died. Mm. Donna, your son was 5. Tried to prepare him. He came to the wake, her grandparents' funeral, but my daughter was only 2, and she did not participate. Mm. All right, I've got an image I want to share with you. Another painting that I think is similar in some ways and different in other ways. Let me know what you see in this one. Yeah, Donna, it's touch. So how is this similar and how is it different? Tom, you have woman looks sad or at least pensive, and girl looks at her as if she senses something is wrong. And Donna, you're thinking you're not reading, you're not seeing death, you're seeing more grief, and the child is older here. Mhm. Eva, similar in that the mother is not interacting, but here the child is allowed to see it. Yeah. Yeah, the child is older, understands more. I'm gonna go back to this one here. So another way to think about the personal connection is to just hypothesize a scenario. And a little bit like Eva was doing earlier when she was imagining, okay, what if, if my husband died, would I look like her? Can you think of a moment where you might be in a situation like this, or imagine a scenario that could happen like this, where, okay, there's somebody you're caring for who, you know what, they're too young to know what it is you're fully going through. I don't know. I think maybe I've got some friends with young kids. If something were to happen and then suddenly I'm taking care of the kids, yeah, I'd want kind of my private moment and to try to keep them away from it and enjoying their apple, enjoying the sunlight, and enjoying twirling their toes. We haven't had any quotes yet. Let's dramatize this. What quotes would you give for either of them? What would they be saying? Okay, and I'm looking in the chat. I missed a couple things here. Yvonne, neither of the mothers are looking at the child. That's true. True. Maybe it's not her husband who died. Mm. Is there anything, Eva, that's making you say that you're seeing that's making you say that? Or is that just a hypothesis to kind of guide you and you're looking?
Yeah, and also I think if wouldn't, I don't know. No, I guess the child would just be a child either way. It's too small. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah. I just thought it would be more, I don't know, understand a little bit more that the mom was like that sad. But yeah, no.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a very personalized grave area where it's clear it's her husband. It's just the presence of the child.
Yeah.
And I'm reading more here. Leonid, you have in the second one, the child is actively interested in the situation, while in the form one, she enjoys the ignorance. Also, the second one, the morning woman is the woman with the apple. Yeah, it's true. That's true. And Donna, it's all about what's age appropriate. It's all about what's age appropriate, either whether you're going to let the child see you in your sadness or not. And you have the phrase widow's weeds. What does that mean, Donna? Widow's weeds?
The black clothing.
Okay.
Widows. I mean, I think in Italy, they used to wear black for the rest of their lives if their husbands died. Don't know if that's still the case. Probably not.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the fact that she is so covered up in black indicates that this is recent. That as time goes by, you wear less black. You still have something, maybe a veil, maybe a ribbon, but as time goes by, there's less of it. So the fact that maybe she's so fully covered in black might be an indication that this is pretty recent. Okay, so I'm looking at
the black. The black is extraordinary. I mean, you could touch it. You could feel the texture of the fabric, I think. It's just so solid, but still, I could feel it. You know, compared to all the other shades in the painting, it's just so dense and so solid.
And then you look at the girl and you got just a white dress and then the pink bow around her and the green apple. These really lively colors and the fluttering brown hair. So I'm looking at quotes here. Ifat, you have for her, or they're both her, for the mother, how am I going to live with all the sorrow? And Bert, you're given a title for the second one. Is that what you're doing there? Repression? Is that what you're for the second?
And as opposed to the first one where the woman is obviously grieving, and I do agree it could be age appropriate. The second one, I think that she is obviously just withholding herself so much from the child. The child's having to look at her, wondering what's going on. Repression may not be the best title for that in retrospect, but yeah, it's interesting though.
And from the Yvonne crew, for the child, quote for the child for the second painting, I will understand this when I'm older. Yeah. This little girl is saying something more like, oh, should I eat the apple now? I wonder if there's a worm in it. And Tom, both I miss you and your daughter will never get to know you. So Tom, what I love about that quote is that you're incorporating the whole scene. This is what you're putting the thoughts into her mind that make sense from from the story that you're gathering around. And that could lead her to that kind of anguish where she is pressing her lips to the prayer fingers that she's got there. I miss you, and your daughter will never get to know you.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
Yeah, Tom. Okay. Okay, and I've got from the Yvonne crew, it's so odd coming up with quotes for both mother and child. You got, Lord, let me bear this sorrow. And just 2 feet away. Yummy apple. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Are you ready for title of the painting? It's called The Mourning Widow. Ifat, you look perplexed.
No, I was just saying that was exactly the title that I was thinking in my head before you said it. So, but I mean, it's pretty obvious. So it's like,
Well, it's really fun to have the artists agree with you because then it shows that they are right. Yeah, they can be smart too. Okay. And then, oh, where painted? This is the Painter's Honeymoon. Frederick Layton. Here I've got, this is when I saw at the Layton house, and I hate glass. I hate glass so much. They're great to drink from. I love glass to drink from, but not to look through art. So here, let me see if I can. I'll show you. You'll get a sense of the size, but you're not going to get a better sense of the image. The image that I have there is just from the internet, which is, it's a pretty good image. But here is, let's see, do I have? Yeah. Here, a couple of friends of mine, and there's the painting right here. So you can get a sense a little bit.
Luke, that's in London?
Yeah. At the Frederick Layton house. So Frederick Layton has his home that's a dedicated museum to him. And there are several artworks there. Here's my photo from the child. Got a good little bit of an angle just to see her and to see those rosy cheeks. Look at those rosy cheeks.
We have a question. What's the pinkish red spot on or patch on her dress? Is it a part of her dress, or is it a shadow, or is it a smear or something like that?
So you're wondering if this is like she's been like eating watermelon along with apples, and that she's got a smear?
Yeah, that would be kind of absurd, but it looked like that on the different other things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bib.
Maybe it's something like a bib.
And also, I don't think that's an apple because look at the stem. It looks to me like a bell pepper. Right?
Yeah, it does kind of look like a bell pepper, but I'm just going to go by what makes sense. I don't know. I think I'm still going to call it an apple. But it
an
does.
Observation.
Yeah, I think what
stem is exactly like a bell pepper.
Yeah, you're looking at this as a stem. I'm wondering if it's more of a hollow than a stem, but the rest of it, kind of the ridginess of it, makes me think bell pepper too. But this is one instance where it's like 50-50 enough for me, and what makes more sense in the context, I think I'd still lean apple, unless she's like, Mom, why did you give me a bell pepper? What am I supposed to do with this? I don't know.
Jalapeno.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Philip. But I don't know. Can you read the expression of the child here? She's got
It seems
the
like
physical.
Yeah, we were talking all the time, or at least I was thinking all the time about that she was eating the thing, but it seems now that she's more thoughtful. Like,
Yeah.
you know how when children find something and it just means infinity to them and they could stare at it for hours? That seems like what she's doing. So maybe she's pensive in her own way, if not about the subject at hand.
You know what? She looks less playful here than at first I thought. Those eyes are lowered. I mean, her feet are kind of twirling, but it's kind of more like she's not distracted and like, oh, look at the butterflies. No, there is more kind of staring into space, that infinite look you're talking about, Daphne. And
That
Ifat, you're saying,
pensiveness. Sorry, I was
Go
just
ahead,
going to say
Greg.
the pensiveness may reflect their mother's emotions.
Maybe.
You know how children can sometimes reflect in a
Maybe.
different way their parents.
So what that does for me, Bert, is that it becomes less of a contrast of emotions, where the child does seem like they're kind of maybe not melancholic, but quiet, and more of the action of the mother to to keep the child in this light away from her grieving? Okay, I'm reading a bit from the chat here. The year, oh, I don't know the year. So that's I'm gonna throw a year out there, 1882. That sounds like a good year. So late 1880s or late 1800s, late 1800s for Frederick Clayton. I can find out. Now this is one where Frederick Clayton, he didn't have many letters, so you don't get much background from him. So tying it to his life, not sure. But let me ask one final question for the painting. Let me go back to the full painting. What's your favorite detail? What's your favorite detail? Daphne, the twirling feet. Yeah, they're twirling. You feel them going on top of each other. This goes wriggling together. Tom, the woman's face pressed into her clasped fingers. Those fingers are so clasped. Yeah. And Eva, I think I agree with you. I don't see like strong emotion in her eyes. They're closed. They seem not like wailing, but a little bit more serene than that. Eva, the black dress is a detail you like. You thought the gesture angle of her head. You thought, may I follow up? What do you mean by the angle of her head? Why do you like that?
Why do I like it? That's a good question. It's yeah, it's hard to tell. Like it's very expressive the way her head is leaning down. And kind of the whole gesture kind of looks like she's folded inwards. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it really well, but it's graceful and it's expressive.
Oh, those are some good words. Graceful, expressive in the way she's folded inwards. I like that description of it. Okay. And then just hearing you as an artist, Ifat, just say that you like that makes me think, oh, that's in all the images that you've seen of grief, this seems unique to you, or this seems a little bit different. So that's fun to hear. Leonid, you have her expression. You mean the mother's expression, I'm guessing, Leonid, right?
Yeah, her expression, the way she, her facial expression and what she does with her hands, just very expressive.
Yeah. The facial expression mixed with the hands. And as you're drawing my attention more to her face, it's interesting to see how much her face is in shadow. And then comparing that to the child's face. The cheeks lit up. Okay. And then Silke, you have the child's dress. Silke, what do you like about the dress? What do you see with the dress?
It's cute and innocent and it's white. I don't like black clothes.
What are, this is for everybody, what are the 3 details of innocence that you see in her clothing, or maybe just her whole, I mean, her 3 details of innocence, and maybe especially in the dress, with the whiteness of the dress, you could throw that one in there. What else makes her look so innocent? What,
I would say her with her finger in to her mouth.
her finger to her mouth, that's a good one. The bare feet, that's a good one. Okay, how many? I asked for 5 details. Yeah, 5 details of innocence, not 3, 5. 2 more. Okay, I gotta go. No hairdressing. Oh, yeah. So her hair's not made up. It's just kind of like dangling all over her forehead. Yeah. Loose tossed hair, right, John? Okay. I'll throw in two more. Oh, three more. That chubby arm. Look how chubby that arm is. It's a healthy child who knows no cares. The slip of the dress off of her shoulder. He's not constrained by some school uniform. And then, oh, what else I'll throw in? I'll throw in those so round cheeks. Yeah. All right. And Leonie, you have her questioning facial expression, her finger in the mouth. She's tasting the apple, her blushing cheeks. She's such a beautiful child.
Luke, I want to
Yeah.
just say one other thing. The
Mhm.
fact that she's sitting on the stairs and it doesn't look like her feet touch the next stair. So it's, it just emphasizes how young she is. She's too
Yeah.
small.
Yeah. 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 All right. And Yvonne, your favorite detail was the contrast of the light. Okay. Tom, I think I'm gonna remember that quote especially. Yeah, her speaking to her husband, saying she's never gonna get to know you. All right, any final thoughts or questions about this one? Do you like it?
So what I really liked at the end is that so at the beginning it's like, yeah, there's this contrast, there's grief, and then there's playful innocence, and she's munching her apple. But the fact that she's serious about what she's doing adds a sort of bigger picture to this, that the mother is leaving her alone to contemplate her own project. Like in my personal association, also there was my mom protected me from it because I was busy staging a play while my grandfather was dying. Like it's absurd that you'd let your child prance around on a stage and focus on that. Um, but it just means that like you really respect that this connection between the child and the apple is serious and robust. It's not just some sunshine activity or something like that.
Thanks, Daphne. And I also like that the contrast you're making with your personal connection. You're just there performing in your play, and the child there is something a little bit more serious that she's experiencing. Okay. All right. You guys want to do another artwork quickly? 10, 15 minutes?
Sure.
So let me see. What were the candidates? All right. Oh, who gets to pick now? Is it you guys? No, it's me. All right. I've got a painting that from these that I want to go to. And painting I want to pick out is going to be and when I show it, let's just start describing. I'm not going to give you any personal time. We'll just start sharing things in the chat, or if you want to make observations, here we go. I'll zoom in, and here's the painting. So some of the quick titles to remember were the Iron Forge, the family business. What do you see going on in the scene? What do you see going on in the scene? Is this work? Is this a factory that's in the process of?
I don't know.
Yeah, what's going on, Ifat? So it's funny, I'm seeing both. I'm seeing some kind of work going on, but then I'm seeing the family. Now, what the heck is the family doing here? Okay. Tom, there are men working metal, but what appears to be family members of all ages and immediate area. Wait, dog? Where's the dog? Oh, there's a dog over there. Dog's looking over like, what the heck's going on? Anybody worked with metal before? Because I'm imagining what are the sounds I'd be hearing and what would I be feeling in terms of the sensations on my skin here? Oh. Is that the hissing that's going on here? That stuff is spilling off of that molten rod of whatever? Hot and loud. Yeah. That's why, that's why he's got his sleeves lifted up. It's not to show off his muscles, it's because it's hot here. Okay, Lena, the blacksmith takes his family for a visit in his private shop. Oh, does this bring the family to work day? Maybe recently purchased, and he's acting very proud about it. Okay. So this contraption, this machine here, is something that he's kind of showing to the family, and the family, I guess they don't care much, but he is acting very proud about it. What are the 3 details that make him look like he's proud about this?
His posture. I assume that the guy who looks proud here, like with standing like this, it feels like he took his family to his work and tells them, look, now I have workers and that's my own place and I have machinery and that's kind of the vibe that I get from it. At a not so and not at such old age. Maybe he got it as inheritance.
He does. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't look very old. I guess the age kind of matches. So he's a young man, maybe inherited this. This is, but he's excited about showing it off. And when you were starting to describe some details about his pride, you went to the arms folded across his chest like that. And let's see, what other details of pride does everybody see in this man? Any others? Let's see. He does not look rich.
He's got a smile.
He does have a bit of a smile, doesn't he? Okay, I can't zoom in anymore. Sorry. Standing tall. Yeah. Yeah. The muscle guy seems like he's in training. Maybe the husband in this guy is in. Oh, so Eva, you're wondering if over here might be the dad over here. Is that what you were thinking, Eva?
Yeah, he looks richer, and also there's a kid,
That's
by
true.
his side, so.
There's a kid right here.
And he has like a nice fancy hat and full sleeves, and not sure what he's doing, but
That's right. With his hand right here. That's true. It's hard to tell. Can't tell. He seems significantly older, no? Is he granddad? Is that a cane that he's got? But he's not working. He's not one of the workers. Here's the worker. Here's a guy who's proud. I'm guessing the dad. And Wendy, you can't make sense of the machinery. It looks so complex. Like, what exactly is going on? How does it function and what turns? He seems to be standing right in front of it, right beside it. Tom, you're thinking that guy over here is in charge because he gets to sit down. Yeah, I'm wondering about this. Has he lost an eye? The proud guy's hands are clean. Yeah, so he's giving orders, maybe. Okay, so yeah, Wendy, I wish I knew kind of the mechanism of where this rod of molten lava is going. It looks like whatever is going on. There's, I guess, what is the reaction of the family? It doesn't look like they're too into it. Ifat, you're saying pretty standard forge. You recognize kind of what the equipment and what's going on?
Oh, it wasn't me. It was.
Yeah.
Oh, Leonid, do you
I
recognize kind of the
forgot to-
equipment?
Yeah. That's well, by chance I kind of have a little bit of background in this, so
Yeah.
I can go for a long time. But in general, after you hit the metal, you want to A, shape it, and B, you want to make it harder by
Yeah.
inserting as much as possible inner defects in the crystalline structure of the metal, and that's why that's what you do with this forge, and that's more or less the same as they use now, but now it's kind of hydraulic.
So where is he going to go with the slab that he's got? Where is he going?
After that, he's going to temper it in oil or water.
Do we see the oil or water here? Is that here?
Not sure if we can see it, but it
Yeah.
must be nearby because
Okay.
there shouldn't be much time.
And where did he get it from? Did he get it from down here?
No, he got it from the oven, and the oven it should emit a lot of light, but most of the light I see comes from the ignot. So I'm not sure where the oven is here.
Okay, so he's got it from the oven and he's bringing it over to the water. But this machine right here, this is not the oven.
No, this is the forge. It basically heats it very
That's-
hardly.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, it's good to hear that this is kind of standard. It's not some kind of alien machine. Thank you, Leonid. I like having experts on hand. Your check is in the mail. So let's see what else do I have in the chat. Tom, the eye lines appear to be looking off. Yeah, I know, right? She's looking kind of at me. She seems to be looking off to the side. None of them seem to be looking at Dad's fancy new machine. This makes me think of me looking at, with my dad working on a car. He says, Luke, just watch what I do. And I'm like, I'm looking at the birds, sorry. But he doesn't care. He doesn't care. And Yvonne, the guy looks very skeptical to me. He seems to wonder if the family is worthy of the visit. Okay. Huh. This is where I wish maybe I had a better image of the face. So what do you see that makes you see skepticism? Start there. What do you see that makes you see skepticism?
So I'm thinking right now he looks very disappointed when I look closely at his face. And also his posture with his arms, it's like, oh my God, what are they doing here? Why did I invite them here? He looks very, very disappointed. And I don't think he looks very proud, but that's only my impression. I think he looks proud, but like the disappointment is just settling in. Like he was tired and he had the expectation, and now it's just on
And now the
cusp
kids
of
are like,
disappointment.
can we go back to watching Disney Plus?
And
And
he's like, ah, God, yeah.
okay, let me see if I've got to actually do have a close up here and see if that helps, or what that does for your impression. I think is this it? Yeah. So kid is so happy. Tom, I'm wondering if is it a missing eye? Yeah, it's been wondering about that. He does have it covered up. Okay, I'm reading some more Bert. You got mother with 2 children with dad in the factory. Dad stands proudly smiling, showing off work to whom? Family or to workers? Clean hand suggests he's the boss. Mother busy with kids, not her choice to be here. You know what? He kind of looks a little bit more tired here to me in this image too. It's the pose that makes me think pride. I mean, he is standing like this. Like if I stand like that, I'm feeling like, hmm. And there's a bit of a smile, but maybe, you know what? Okay, give him a quote. Give him a quote. What's he saying? If he speaks, what's he saying? Let's get down to the impressions, see whether or not the drama fits. The woman, Leonid, you're saying the woman looks not interested, but the girl is quite excited. What's your quote? Is it, damn, why did I bring my family? Or is it, you know what? You've got Tom, you've got, I wish I could fully appreciate my achievement. Philip, you haven't a clue. Bert, don't you appreciate where I work? Okay. Yvonne, damn, what are they doing here? Daphne, all this work for I, I've got a different take. I'm looking at him and thinking, I'm thinking he's just fine with his kids being squirmy. I'm thinking he's just fine with his wife. It's like, yep, I'm doing this for you, kids, for your college fund. I'm glad to do it. I, he's a dad who knows, I think, who knows this is how kids act, but he's like, yeah, I got this. I got this dad thing. So this is a case where the facial expression is, I think, ambiguous. That's where the acting could be more convincing one way or another. And, and John, you have women. I don't, exasperation. Okay, so this is a scenario where I'd say, all right, if you have a certain idea and you want to really stress that expression, what would you change about the character? So if it's exasperation, like, it might be something like that. If it's like, damn, what are they doing here? I might furrow the brows a little bit. Like, what are they doing here? Like, oh, he's staring at them, and he's got those arms crossed. Yeah, this is the acting is kind of tricky. Lena, you may not be excited, but your livelihood comes from here. I can see that. I can see that. And Tom, you have his mouth is perfectly neutral, gives nothing away. Bert, facial expression needs to be accentuated. That's what you'd want to change. You'd want to have a little bit more of a smile. Yvonne, perhaps contained exasperation. Okay, I'm going to go back to the full painting here. This is what it looks like in the flesh. So we'll get back to the particular reaction he has, but I want to ask about the situation. Can you think of any situation where a parent wants to kind of show to their family what they do all day long, what they're proud of doing? Maybe this is something that you have done, maybe with a child in your life, with people in your life that don't know much about what it is that you do, and you want to show them, and you bring them into your workspace. You bring them into to the office. You bring them to your little studio. You bring them someplace to show them something that means a lot to you. I know, like with my parents, it's like, yeah, mom and dad, these are all my art books. Yes, art books, lots of art books and literature books too. This is my job. And I don't know, maybe sometimes you don't know what kind of reception that you're going to get from the people that you're doing this for. The kids are kind of like not too interested. And the one who looks most skeptical, Tom, isn't it the dog? Well, I gotta get the better image. I'll show you the dog who looks like, what the hell is all this fire stuff doing? It's like, this is too hot for me. There's no food here. So, can you think of time in literature or movies where there's a character who wants to show off the work that they are proud of, that they do routinely to those that he cares about who may not know much about him? Or can you think of a time in your life when you've done that? And he thought, when my nieces visit me in my art studio, I get a round of art critique of my different pieces. Sometimes it's favorable and sometimes it's not. Yeah, that's a good example. That's a good example. And maybe this, you could play the role-playing game and project a little bit here and imagine, okay, what is something that you're working on right now that somebody close to you doesn't really know about? And if they were to be brought into it and to take a look at it, how would they react? How would you feel about it? And Wendy, you're wondering if he is the eldest son? He seems a bit amused by the family's reaction. Oh, and Wendy, if you want to vocalize that to just to make sure that everything is clear, I'm thinking you're talking about him right here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's because the other man with the little child, the way she across on the other side, who's putting his hand up, you know, and then the girl who's on his knee like that, I mean, she's treating him like her father.
Mm,
So that just makes me, I mean, I just think the number of children in that age span would be more possible,
yeah.
you know, at different times. And that's what just struck me as like, maybe
This
come
is
and
like
see what I do. Like he's an accomplished apprentice at this time and this, and you know, and this is the older. Anyway, so they're there to see it, but they don't quite get it. And his expression seems just mildly amused to me, especially when I first looked at it, the girls kind of clinging to their mom, you know, while there's the big hot fire. They're what I kind of drew my attention initially, just in this strange scene, I guess.
the fact that he's looking over at the child and kind of the child has a smile. That's a puzzle piece that fits for me with mildly amused, proud
Yeah.
and mildly amused, I'm saying. And so you're thinking that maybe there's this is like their brother and sister here. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm not sure. I mean, like that, yeah, somehow that this is the family and he has a connection to them. Maybe an eldest son, but it seems strange because she doesn't seem old enough, but I don't know.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe a brother.
maybe a brother. Okay, so
So uncle.
Yeah, kind of like
Yeah,
uncle
uncle
relationship.
to
I
the
can imagine
kids.
that. I can imagine
Maybe.
that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's how I'd personally connect with it. There's my sister and there's Quinn when she's 4 years old. And then let's see, Yvonne, you have Hank Rudin from Atlas Shrugged, which is like the nightmare of bring your family to work. Yeah. Yeah, this is okay. For me, this is a good contrast. Hank Reardon would be much more exasperated about and much more frustrated, fundamentally frustrated about having his wife and his brother see the work he does. Yeah, so that's making me feel like there's more positive vibes in this one. Bert not just bringing my kids to the lab, but giving brief presentations to high school kids on immunobiology. Yeah, 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 that's a good one.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was yeah, to me that's I can really relate to this in that respect.
See that? And Leonid, Terminator 3. Great. I was hoping somebody would connect to Terminator 3. I haven't had that one come up in a while. Thank you. When Colonel Brewster brings his daughter to see the research lab where Skynet is Was the daughter really intrigued, or was the daughter kind of like, Mom, Dad, can we go home?
No.
Okay.
That's not good.
Ah,
All right. So, what do you think? Do you feel like you can connect to this one in a positive way? That this is a scene that you want to have happen in your life, or one that you're like, I don't know. I don't want. This is not the ideal situation for me. What do you guys think? Do you want this as a vision of something that you want to have in your life? I think I would say yes for me. Yeah, come take a look. Yeah, rummage through my books. Oh, I don't care if you're like, more interested in the cat George than you are in the books. Huh. Favorite detail? But the dog is there too. Yeah. By the light. Bert, that's hidden expression. Mhm. So keep going with those details, but it's occurring to me, I always constantly like to connect the artworks that we're looking at, thinking of this one in connection to the widow in mourning. The widow in mourning is taking this action of separating her child from what she's going through. And it's occurring to me that this is kind of the reverse of that. This is, yeah, let's bring the kids over to see what uncle or daddy or does all day to provide for the family. So it's a kind of unification of the family and all its ups and downs. And I think that's what I like about this. And I'm seeing more details. The little girl's sweet smile. Yeah, with a little bit of a tooth showing up. Um, the iron that's being forged. Yeah. You know what? In contrast to the dress that was just black, this is just like a single span of intense yellow white. The worker is almost hidden. Then I had the three contrasting expressions in the faces of the three women: non-interested, excited, and interested, but a bit worried. Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering what else is here in the scene that we can't see. Like, where are those eyes going to? That's something that's confusing for me about that. What's the title of this painting? Here, I know the artist. I'll give you the artist first. He's a favorite. Joseph Wright of Derby. And I think, oh yeah, the title is just simply this: The Iron Forge. It's that doesn't help much, but I get the sense that this is oh, I forgot who said this looked like a piece of new machinery. It looks pretty new. I think that that's what's going on here. Like dad showing off his new gizmo at work that the kids aren't super thrilled about, but he's kind of like, yeah, this is I want you to take a look at this. Silke, in Germany we have a day called, thank you for letting me show off my German pronunciation, Zukunftstag. future day where children spend the day at a workplace instead of going to school, and many of them go to their dad's workplace. Yeah. There was, for those of you who are Ayn Rand fans, there was a premise that she talked about, the anti-breaking the sound barrier premise. Does that ring a bell for anybody? It's I think it's it came from some movie or TV show she saw where you have this brilliant scientist who's working on something and then he goes home and he's got just a bunch of troubles at home, and it's like this, what, like two different people, like two different worlds, like, okay, heroic and benevolent in one realm, in the productivity realm, and then like this just like a mess of a life in the domestic personal realm, and that there is this dichotomy of this compartmentalization of two realms of life, kind of like this painting, because it breaks that dichotomy. It's like, yeah, come family, come see what I do. Any final thoughts or questions? Which AR book? I don't know. They all blend in together for me now. Good. Here you go. I'm great at citing sources. Yeah, maybe Google, I think it's called the Anti-Breaking the Sound Barrier.
I'll have to Google that. Thank you.
Yeah. Leonid, there's a river outside. The forge is, oh, it's water powered. Oh, that's helpful. That's good. That's good. And is it early morning, Leonid? What do you think? Is this why it's dark? Or is it just, is this why?
I think maybe it's the evening, but I was trying to think where the middle daughter is looking, so I thought maybe she's looking out to the river, but we can't see the window or something.
Yeah. Okay. So there might be more stuff going on. It looks like it's a pretty big room that they're in, and that it takes up more of the space. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to wrap up. And just a quick reminder, if you came in late, there are courses in the horizon. Email me if you're interested in either being kept up to date and having a say in the schedule for the Bonding with Great British Artists. And I might throw in Joseph Wright of Derby in there. There's a lot I like about him. And Stories in Paint is one of his paintings. And, or if you're interested in the romantic relationships in art. And feel free to donate to the Adventure Travel Fund of Luke Travers. George, my cat, has been out working, and she's trying to raise money too. So if you want to help her reduce her hours in the forge, please feel free to donate. All right. I will see, I think, some of you in person, and I will have another salon at some point soon, probably in July, and I will also have courses. It's great to see you guys. I'll talk to you at some point. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luke.
Bye,
Thank
Luke.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Wiedersehen.